Blue Lock Chapter 348 has just released. Nagi Seishirou makes his first appearance this year as we jump back over to side B. The birdcage game continues. We see Kira in action alongside other players showcasing their skills for the first time. This was kind of out of nowhere, immediately jumping over to side B, but if you're a fan of Nagi, you're probably smiling ear to ear right now, and this chapter was pretty interesting. So let's not waste any more time and jump into it quick. We pick up the chapter with the start of the birdcage game, with the text 90 minutes before the France game. Right away, we see the greatest player of our generation, Shigeo Mizuki, appear, and he reminds us of the rules alongside Timu Nerutepe. Most of these guys don't have any names, so we're gonna have to make up nicknames for them. Timu Nerutepe says, basically, the 11 of us have become the cage. And Shigeo says, we just have to keep the ball away as many times as we can from those two guys who are acting as the birds within the time limit. Shindo then jumps in, saying, that's right, only the first 3 pairs to finish can clear it. Blue Lock Side B first stage birdcage. The first ones playing the roles of the birds are Nagi and Kira. Get ready, folks. This is kind of just recapping what we already know. Last time we did leave off on the world's biggest cliffhanger, so finally we get to see some actual gameplay here. We see the ball shoot up from the ground, and with 2 minutes and 15 seconds on the clock, the duo of Nagi and Kira have to get possession of the ball. Nagi gives Kira a nickname, calling him Akira Kira and telling him to hold on, which is a funny nickname, I won't lie, and Kira clarifies that his name is Kira Ryosuke. Wow, take a shot every time I said Kira. Jumping straight into it though, both Kira and Nagi start running alongside each other, the McDonald's chemical reaction, as the white-haired duo rush after the ball. The one to trap the ball is COVID Rin, and then George Washington's reincarnation tells him don't let them take it, pass it over to him. Fire your barber, bro. They bolted this haircut back in the 1700s, dog. And then we see the NPC pass the ball right before Nagi or Kira gets to him. I honestly can't even tell since it's the back of their heads. And then another NPC says, yeah, passing the ball before they reach it once again. Kira is ticked off, and he says pressuring them one by one isn't going to work. And then he tells Nagi he'll narrow down the target and corner them. He needs to anticipate the play and trap it. Nagi says got it, and then Kira books it towards this Clarence-looking NPC, and I just know Kaneshiro and Nomura were on some BS when they were making these character designs. What am I looking at? Surprised, the NPC says, huh, Kira? And we see his face rushing towards him. And then Goldilocks, Washington cut, yells at him asking what is he doing and to let it flow with a one-touch pass. Big Nose over here already sweating with 1 minute passing. There is no reason for you to be clenching your teeth too. He lets out an annoyed sigh. Kira steps forward trying to block, but let me shut my mouth because a Big Nose passes to his side, weaving him effectively. I doubted you too early. And the ball goes to none other than Hajime Nishioka. Ain't no way. If y'all don't remember, this guy has been here since Chapter 1, Day 1, under the nickname of Aomori's Messi. In fact, he was even in the Neo Eagles League. Yet after 8 years, this is the first time he is touching a ball. A monumental moment. If you're watching this weekly right now, we are experiencing history. So let's see what he's capable of. Nishioka traps the ball, clicks his tongue, and says such accuracy. But in the corner, Nagi Seishirou is sprinting towards him, saying got ya. Karasu from Dollar Tree yells at Nishioka that he's coming, and Nishioka is shocked as he just trapped the ball, and Nagi says it's mine. Timu Nerutepe is telling him to pass it over here, and Nishioka panics, passing the ball, but it domes Nagi in the face. Nah, straight 200 pump is crazy, and just peep bro's reaction in the back. I know he's glad he's not the bird. Nishioka apologizes, and Nagi with his last words tells Kira to trap it, and as the ball is falling towards him, he tells him all right. But Mario jumping out of nowhere, Shindo Haneru gets to the ball first, and gets straight away to analyzing, saying a not bad Kira-Nagi combo. He tells the rest of them that touching the ball isn't enough, and that it doesn't count as a clear unless they secure complete possession of it. Kira is in shock, Timu Nerutepe is glazing bro's jump, and this guy, who is this guy? Why is he smiling like he did anything? But next page reveals that the time is up, so that means Kira and Nagi failed. as we see Shindo do a superhero landing and the rest of the NPCs start glazing. Again, who is bro right here and why is he celebrating? He did nothing. Barou announces that time is up and the challenge failed, restating that only the exceptional birds, the first 3 pairs, can clear this. It's revealed that the next bird is Shindo Haneru. He'll pass over the ball over to the cage rolls and name the partner he wants to fight alongside. And he says his signature Roger and smiles. As he lets go of the ball, he then talks about his thought process on this selection, saying that since the game means clear it as a duo, he thinks it's testing their cooperation and trust. Basically, their trust-building relationship, the exact opposite of BLUELOCK's egoist ideal. Let's be real here. Barou was not testing you on anything you just said. He cares about the bag and that's it. There was not a single ounce of thought put into this selection. The NPCs, alongside the legendary most talented player Shigeo Mizuki, call out his analysis skills for being top tier. And Shindo Haneru hits the hand on chin thinking pose, saying, basing it off his first impressions, he thought both Nagi and Kira were outstanding. But after that last play, he completely gets it now. As Shindo calls out to Kira to team up with him, reaching out his hand saying the one who can create that trust synergy with him in this birdcage is him. So Shindo Haneru not picking Nagi Seishirou or the perfect person in every regard, Shigeo Mizuki. Honestly, we've been knowing this since day 1 though, because he's been a Kira glazer. Kira says yeah, and the other NPCs are surprised that it's Kira again, saying they will stop it. But we actually see some blood spilling on the ground as a Nagi wipes his nose and says it hurts, giving kudos to Shindo's analysis skills. And Nagi, with a serious face, wipes the remaining blood off his nose. Shindo hits him with a smile as he says this pain is just fine because this is BLUELOCK, as the next round restarts. Back into it immediately, both Kira and Shindo are booking it straight towards the ball, and Kira, looking forward, tries to get it before the random kid passes it over. Whatever this guy's name could possibly be, he dodges Shindo by hitting it away immediately. However, both Kira and Shindo look to their sides, moving straight away towards a Washington cut. As we see him get the ball, Washington, who is trapped into the corner, slams into it, and nah, how did you even get into this position? Kira calls out that he's cornered, and Timu Nerutepe yells at him to kick it and to not stop. Washington cut then curses, puts up a pathetic pass, which gets blocked by Kira, and it soars up into the sky. Kira, smiling like he just won, says he got it, but Nagi equipped the jumping boots too, as he traps the ball and says not yet. He won't let them clear it yet. And this is the part where we are supposed to be celebrating. Nagi coming in with the clutch save. Kira thought it was all sunshine and rainbows, but y'all, Shindo Haneru in the corner of the page says no Seishirou Nagi in a blacked out text box. As Shindo says he was waiting for this trap of his, and as it falls down, he kicks it straight into Nagi's face for the 2 time. What kind of violation is that? Can't even make the details out in bro's face. It's just the ball. Next thing you know, he's gonna turn out like Luffy after being beat up by Nami. Nagi is seen falling to the ground in damn near slow motion, and Shigeo calls out how, as expected, that's brutal. Shindo then traps the ball with his shoulder, getting possession and smiling, saying if you stop Nagi's movements, you win, calling it a strategy for success, even roasting them all at the end. Nah, Shigeo, don't let him talk to you like that. You might have to unleash 5% of your power now. And I'm not even that big of a Nagi fan, but I'll turn into one for this. I need a Nagi to eliminate, not even eliminate, terminate Shindo Haneru. After getting the ball though, Shindo and Haneru are shown to have cleared the selection, as we see a Nagi laid out flat in the back, looking like a damn optical illusion. Someone get bro's reboot card. Shindo says alright, throwing the ball back to the remaining players. He tells Kira that he's clearly talented, he just lost out of bad luck. The actual level of BLUELOCK isn't that big of a deal. Alright, we gotta debunk this. First of all, Kira, I'm not even doubting bro that much, but he literally would have not got the ball because the Nagi trapped it. It was only because of Shindo tactically shooting the ball at Nagi's face. And saying the actual level of BLUELOCK isn't that big of a deal is crazy. Kira doesn't respond, and Barou says that the players who have cleared must move on to the next room, as Nagi gets back up and watches them both leave. He wipes his nose again and says, damn it, that's the second time it hurts. saying they got him, and now he's ticked off, thinking about frustration. He looks at his hand and he's reminded that if he loses now, it's all over. But more importantly, Shigeo Mizuki is shown to be the bird. I can't believe it. Japan's last hope is here, y'all. Shigeo is coming, and this just got me with the biggest smile on my face right now. Shigeo is the truth, y'all. Shigeo getting picked as bird is the greatest thing for mankind as a whole. Nagi says this is it, reminding himself of the stakes as Shigeo Mizuki picks Nagi Seishirou. I used to pray for times like this. We should be living in fear now, folks, because I know Shigeo will pull out 5% of his power, and alongside Nagi Seishirou, yeah, it's wraps for the rest of them. But we see Nagi start to stand up as his aura is coming off of him once again. The birdcage game is set to restart. Nagi looks up, looking absolutely locked in. The Shigeo Mizuki effect, y'all. And he says, I'm back, BLUELOCK. This fever is exactly what I wanted, as the chapter ends off there. All right, so a side B chapter coming out of nowhere. Honestly speaking, I feel kind of disappointed for some reason. The highlight of this chapter was genuinely Shigeo Mizuki. That was the only redeeming factor. In general, I don't even mind side B. I know some people hate it with their whole existence, but I just feel like they cut it so randomly and so quickly when our minds are still on the France game. That being said, though, we are gonna get side B regardless, and I'm glad that they're actually showing us the game instead of just cliffhangers like last time. And from what we're seeing, they're setting up Shindo Haneru as a better player than usual. I think they're actually setting up Nagi to get his revenge on Shindo later on, a player who has a smarter playstyle like him, someone who right out of the gate is meant to impress us with his jumping, hitting Nagi in the face, and his strategies. So yeah, Shindo Haneru with his skills, with his attitude, will be the obstacle for Nagi in side B, and Kaneshiro did an amazing job because I'm genuinely rooting for Nagi to kick this guy to the curb. And also, there is zero way Kaneshiro isn't playing into the memes of Shigeo Mizuki. Like, giving him screen time and dialogue in the first place, he could have done that for any other character. But he knows, man, he's watching. He could be tapped in with the memes. And yeah, the GOAT, the savior of Japan, he will carry Nagi into the next selection. But let's be serious here, folks. 6 players. It's gonna be Shigeo, it's gonna be Nagi and Nishioka, and then one more random player. Keep in mind as well, the selection is actually going by pretty quickly. By the time all 6 players from each room qualifies, that'll be like 10 minutes in the BLUELOCK time, and half of the players from side B are going to be gone, so down to 150. Which, if you're a believer in the Nagi joining midway through the England game theory, the timing is kind of lining up. Like, they're going through side B very quickly, and this was right when the France game started. So by the time the France game ended, we move on to the next England game, we play through the England game, maybe Nagi does end up joining midway through. Because side B might have finished by then, it's going by very quickly. I know Buratsuta literally said it in the manga, he plans for it to be after the group stage ends, but I've talked about it in my England prediction video, so if you want to hear more about that, go check it out there. I am very excited to see what the next side B games are because they have a lot of potential to do some cool selections. Honestly, I wasn't that captivated by this game and the chapter. It did have its redeeming qualities though, like Shigeo Mizuki, Nagi getting his comeback, I guess seeing Kira and Shindo Haneru. If you're a fan of those characters, you probably enjoyed it a lot more than I did. Next chapter is called Relive, so it's either a continuation of side B, reliving his experiences of BLUELOCK through side B, or the BLUELOCKers reliving the experience of the France game. It's most likely side B though. But anyways, that about wraps it up for this review. Let me know your thoughts on this chapter. Are y'all excited for side B, or do you think this is just a filler chapter? If you made it to the end though, thank you so much for watching as always. YouTube really thinks you'd like this video right here, so be sure to check that one out too. I appreciate y'all so much, and I'll see y'all in the next one.